Hi, New Hope family. I'm here today. I get to interview two good friends of mine. The Pasmas are here and joining us in the socially distant studio. So excited to share a little bit of their story, and we'll be bringing other celebration stories from 2020 to you in the next coming weeks. But first, I'll let you introduce yourselves by your first names. So go ahead, guys.
Well, my name's Chris.
I'm Erin.
And you guys joined New Hope actually, just pre-pandemic of 2020, is that correct? Like 3 weeks before? Or?
Yeah, just a couple weeks. Yep.
Yeah, so you came, kicked the tires of the church and went like, this is a cool place. And then we went into our first lockdown.
Right. Yeah, we came. We said, that's pretty cool. Went to Florida for our annual Florida trip. Got told to come home early, so we did. And then we're like, okay, here we are.
Yeah.
Let's see what's online.
And you joined us with kids. You've got more than just yourselves. Tell us about your family.
Yeah, so we have 4 teenagers, 19, 17, 15, and 13. A girl thrown in the mix with all those boys.
There you go.
Yeah.
Our poor Chloe.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And so tell me about your you've joined New Hope Church, and like one of the first things you wanted to do was to join a life group, except we were in lockdown. And I know a lot of people watching this are currently in lockdown, and I think we're launching life groups in the coming weeks. So what was the kind of drive to actually get plugged in that way? Especially after joining us for only a few weeks,
Right. Just a community. It was so accepting, and like when it was open, everybody's friendly and everybody's hi and this and that. And we thought, okay, from where we were coming from, which I'm sure we'll get on a little bit later, but it was just so full of life. And that's something we've been missing for a long time in our lives with just a church community, church friends, blah, blah, blah.
Sure.
So, talking to Nate and other pastors, we got invited to a life group and said, okay. Unfortunately, it was via Zoom, so we were pretty nervous.
So tell me because there might be a good thing to joining a life group with Zoom, because you can kind of hide your camera and go oh, I don't know what happened every once in a while, or pretend your mic doesn't work so you don't actually have to share. What was it really awkward via Zoom, or was it tell people what it's like?
Well,
yeah, it was awkward. We had to wear pants. Actually, we didn't have to wear pants, I guess, if the camera was right. But
it's good to know you were wearing pants.
I hadn't put on makeup in about 3 months, and it was oh, wow, better do that and brush my hair and make sure we look good, and then tell the kids, get in the basement so you don't make any noise.
Yeah, get out of the way, make sure the wall looks good. You don't want to, first impressions on Zoom, what is that, right? So.
Yeah, I always wondered what that was like. In fact, I was part of that Zoom call with you guys, and I remember going and this is the Pasmas, and everyone's waving in their little camera.
Can't see anybody.
Yeah.
And you told everyone to introduce yourself. So there we have a girl that does hair. Her hair looked perfect. Another girl that does makeup. Her makeup looked perfect. Oh, another hairdresser. And then the Sinkies that have 1 million kids and do glorious work. And we just had 4.
Yeah. It was a fun way to introduce and get to know everybody at least. And so I want to, let's fast forward a little. So the lockdown, your life group meets for a while, then we get to do some sort of drive-in service. And I believe you came right when we came back to drive-in service, and then in-person service, and even virtual day camp. You guys were all in. Walk me through that. I that's unique, I think, for a lot of people. Most people are maybe more hesitant or kind of feeling it out and waiting for the Spirit to speak before they do. A lot of discerning, years of discerning. But you guys were ready to go. And how come? Walk us through that.
I'll go first. I think for us, we're churchy. So we've been in church our whole life. When we started dating, the church we were at, we were very involved in. Everything was great. It was just so far away. So we decided to go somewhere closer. And then that turned into a little bit of, I guess, church hurt, and then we just were stagnant for years. But then when we came here, we thought, okay, this is something we can get involved in. The life group was awesome. Just getting involved again felt good for us, I think. Well, for me and us, and it just felt right. And there's lots of ways to get involved here, and it just worked.
Yeah.
And I feel for me and Chris in our marriage, we are beings that are meant to do God's service, and we know God has called us. So for 6.5 years, we sat in a church pew and did nothing, and really felt so disconnected, and knew that we weren't following in what God wanted for our lives. So after 6.5 years of sitting stagnant, it was like, you guys gave us the opportunity to go, and we ran with it. And we're super excited. We meet and have met different people every week because we're new, and maybe they're new as well. And that's been given us a great opportunity. We love getting together with friends, which obviously we can't do, but it's been good even on social media. Oh, I know this person. This person's new. We went tobogganing yesterday and met a family that we knew from New Hope just recently. So that was really cool. So I think we are just ready to go, and that's what God has called us to do, to be involved. And as soon as you are involved, you just want to be more involved because that's your family.
Sure. Cool. Yeah, it's been a privilege watching that happen. And correct me. So you're joined the property team. You're a handyman. You're joined the property team. You did virtual day camp. You were here almost every day, running activities and stuff outside. Is that correct? And then on top of that, you've been doing New Hope Kids stuff. Is that correct?
Yeah, kids church stuff. Yeah.
Okay, so you really got plugged in quick.
Nat Fest.
Oh yeah, can't forget Benji and Chloe. You might remember,
My daughter, Chloe wanted to get involved, and I love acting and being the fun guy. So yeah, it was fun, lots of fun. Meet people.
Yeah,
it's great.
Awesome. I guess so. The next part I'm hoping to kind of touch on or learn from you guys a little bit, and as we look at 2020, which was a mess of a year, a confusing year, one of those years where people use pivot too much. We should never say that word again. If we look at that year and you are kind of going, okay, from that we learned what about community? What was it kind of that stands out that maybe encouraged you, that you learned about yourself or about your community, or maybe you want to encourage other people with as well?
For me, the easiest part was clicking the play button at 11 o'clock in the morning and then being done by noon. I didn't have to get dressed. I could go for a run. I could be sweaty, whatever, just waking the kids up, getting them down there. And then I didn't realize until we did the first drive-in service how much I missed community worship, community getting together and listening to the word, seeing other people. And then I was like, okay, I've got this all wrong. There's no way we want to do this again. Yeah. Unfortunately, here we are again, pressing play at 11 o'clock in the morning, but we'll make it work and we'll get through it. But it was so important for me and our family to actually see people and of like mind and have our kids experience worship, see us worshiping, and then get involved, because worship at home with 4 teenagers looks a lot different than in the sanctuary here.
Yeah, I recognize that too. I remember first drive-in service and me going like, is this going to work? Like, are people going to really enjoy it? And then like looking around with all like the hands out the windows and out the sunroofs, and I just started bawling. I was just like, man, there's something beautiful about corporate worship that I maybe overlooked for years of my life. That was just really impressed upon me at drive-in. So I recognize that too.
Yeah, our kids, I think we get to the second drive-in. We didn't go to the first one. Kids were giving us a hard time, like, why would we want to do that? Blah, blah, blah. We're like, fine. So we stayed home. And then we went to the next one, and we're like, what the heck? They parked us right in front of the trailer. Toby's there just giving her, and it was so awesome. Mm-hmm. And I think the kids liked it too.
Yeah, even our kids said that.
Yeah, they might say something different to us, but I think they all enjoyed it, and because there's something to do, right, too? And just getting them involved with youth and the young adults and like
serving
right? Now. Yeah, like you got to get them in, right? So I think we're like 75% of the way to where we want to be.
Awesome.
That way. So.
Yeah, God's been doing some real cool stuff in your life. But maybe I'll hit on the one email, Erin, if I can ask you to expand on it. You sent us this email, really encouraging one to us, our leadership, just saying like what New Hope has meant to you. And I think it was a desire to go like, I just want to implore people not to wait, because you felt like you waited too long. And I think you shared a bit about this, about feeling stagnant was the word I think you said there, Chris. Like, and then all of a sudden you didn't want to wait anymore. It was like, oh, I needed this. Can you just expand and maybe share for anyone watching what that was all about?
Yeah, sure. So Chris and I actually felt quite a few years ago that we should check out New Hope. But having 4 kids, having them involved, maybe making friendships that are Christian friendships that you don't want to break. So we decided, no, we're going to stay where we are for our kids. And then after a while, we took a look around and thought, we're doing this for our kids, but at the detriment of our own spiritual lives. And we weren't growing, we weren't volunteering, we weren't putting ourselves out there at all. And we looked around at our kids and thought, okay, they're seeing the example of 2 very disgruntled Christians with a big hurt, trying to get over that hurt, been through the whole forgiveness thing, but not being able to worship completely where they were because they didn't feel comfortable. So we took a look in the mirror and realized we're actually possibly hurting our kids and hindering them more than we're helping them. We thought that we were sacrificing for them, and really they were the ones that were having to make the sacrifice because we were not good examples of what a Christian couple should be, how Christians should act in the church, and how they should be involved. So I had wanted to let the leadership know here how different of an experience that we had day one walking through these doors. Pastors that came up to my kids' name, in particular, Pastor Tom met us, that they actually felt like, oh, I'm a person too. They're not just looking at my parents, or they're not looking at a family of 6 walking through the door. Oh, that would be great for them, Ty. You know, all these thoughts go through your mind, but
just the initial connection
yeah.
is incredible here. Like, not just the pastors, everybody. It was people at the door, random people in the hall, like, oh, you knew, you know, this is my name, blah blah blah. It's like it was mind blowing for us.
Yeah, and it was, and we waited too long. Thankfully, God knew that we were being stubborn and waited too long, and He's been able to get the kids connected. We sowed right away into New Hope, and one of our big goals was to have the kids connected. So we sowed big, and we believe for a big return on it. And we know that we should not have waited that long, but we did. But God was able to bring that back, and He was able to reward us even now, giving us opportunities to serve and give.
So, Chris, you at one point, you and I embraced. This was like an okay embrace. This is when, you know, but you said, man, I never knew how much we needed this. And it was, I think, regarding our life group that you're a part of. And I guess I just want, like, what does that mean? What is it? What? It's not like we're really all that special. So what does it mean to be a part of that? And what kind of were you meaning by that? What stood out so much to you that you longed for in both your marriage, but your heart? What was it?
Relationship for me. I'm a fun guy, but I'm also very to myself, and almost if I'm somewhere new, it's like I hold to myself until I'm comfortable. But the life group, and then we have those accountability nights, which are like super awesome but crazy. You can just talk and be open and be yourself, and I don't know. Maybe it's just the love of a community, of a bunch of friends, and our life group. The guys and gals there, or the guys and gals, the guys, the girls, but the guys, like, we have our little macho man
accountability. Our group.
And we just get along. Like, we're all different. We're all very different, but we're all just living life together. Yeah. And that's what I need myself. I need that camaraderie, I guess, because it's been lacking for so many years. Yeah. We have a couple of good friends that we hang out with, like outside of this church, and that's who initially sparked us to say, hey, stupid, make a change, right? So here we are. But we need that in a church community. We've been lacking that for so many years, and that's what we need.
Cool. Thanks for sharing.
To do the Bible, to do everything. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, I believe, there's a lot of people out there that actually have joined New Hope family in this pandemic year in 2020, and I think for a lot of them, they share a similar story to yours, actually, where they maybe were believers, but their faith was kind of growing stagnant. And as we know, stagnant things don't grow, they only die. And so, well done on saying, no, something's got to go here. We got to get plugged in. And it's been a privilege to journey with you guys and use your different gifts and abilities in different ways. But I'm excited for what God's got in store for 2021. I'll end with a question, which is, what are you looking forward to after this lockdown, after this, into this year? If we're launching into 2021, what is it for you guys and your family that you're really excited and can't wait to see happen?
Well, I guess a lot of things. Spiritually, I guess, with just getting the kids more involved in the church, and they're already started, which is awesome. Great friendships for them, good Christian friends, good relationship, mentoring relationships, which they're already starting to get those as well. Awesome. For Aaron and I, well, I don't know about Aaron, but for myself, I'd like to become more involved. I can't wait to see what my next journey will be or whatever. But I don't know, we just love growing and getting back on track, I guess, for myself.
Yeah, and I think for this year, we are super excited. We're kind of on a newer journey of being self-employed. That's been awesome. God has just opened our eyes to what we maybe should have taken the step a long time ago in that as well. But he's been gracious with us as well, bringing properties along. Chris having opportunities to work with someone that he met here. Like, it just has been amazing. So I think this year will be a year of growth for us. Again, a year of volunteering, but we have some big goals in terms of business, in terms of giving to the initiative that we gave back in October, which is really exciting because we set some big goals there.
Yeah, and we've never done anything like that.
No,
like
never.
We've always tithed our entire life, even at the stay, like when we're staying, still you got to tithe, right? Because that's just the way it works. But we've never been a part of something like an initiative like that. Like it's a great idea, pushes you financially and spiritually as well.
Yeah,
trusting.
Big time.
So we're happy with that.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, guys, for joining us and sharing your heart and your story. And God bless you this year. And I hope this has been an encouragement to you, especially as a season to get plugged in and to not wait, but to actually double down on the investment in your faith community. So God bless you. And we'll stay tuned for our content tomorrow.